Hi chums, right? You see, I have a wee problem. When I turn the screen towards myself at the front there, I can't see the little red button. Oh, I can, but if you don't turn it the whole way, you still see the little red button. That's not so bad. So, from that point of view, I couldn't see the little red button. It let me know the camera was on. So these ones here these are Sarpo Mira. If any of you have still to try Sarpo Mira, it'd be well worth your while trying to get them because they are a wonderful potato. I've been growing them for about 5 years, I think now, and they're starting to become more of a mainstream potato. There's lots of gardeners are doing them, and lots of gardeners are doing them because they are very blight resistant and they are a very robust potato, but they're a potato that takes well to baking, boiling, shipping and mash. They make a beautiful mash. My wife made a fish pie last week and it was lovely, but one particular part that was wonderful was the topping, the potato topping. And I asked her, what did you use for that? She went to the Sarpos, and they are absolutely wonderful as mash. So if you can get your hands on Sarpo Mira, M-I-R-A, they're a very, very good potato. We can get them easily now, but for a couple of years it was quite hard because once the word got out about these, everybody had their orders in advance, so when they arrived into the suppliers, they were all gone basically. But as each year goes on, there are more and more produced, and it'll only be a matter of time before these become commercial. And maybe they are now already. I've got a friend who deals in that, Werner, who deals in that sort of potatoes business, and he might be able to tell me whether or not they're actually a commercial crop now. But look, they're not even, they're resistant to slugs even. Look, those are in lovely condition. Now, those are very small, but you'll see as they get bigger, you know, there's no damage on them at all. They're lovely. Now, maybe you'll find a couple of damage, but I did before, but not like the whole bag, like they were a thing. There's an average one there. You bit of damage there, we split in that one, but that's nothing. They're a lovely potato. Most have got a purpley. There's the skin. There's the sort of colour they are normally. They got sort of purpley colour. Yeah, they're okay. So the potato. So back to the potato reveals. I was at a few funerals, a whole lot of funerals actually, and meeting up with cousins and stuff, and been reminded about stuff that happened when we were young, you know, and that was good fun. Unfortunately, like most families, we are now only meeting up at weddings and funerals, you know, which is kind of sad, you know. But that's the way it goes. Everybody's busy, you know. My mother's still doing great. Oh my goodness, she is doing brilliant. She looks like she's getting healthier every day. She's 88, and she was 88 in June there, and she's as bright as a button. One of my friends, Patricia, I was talking to her, and she said to me, Brendan, are we worried about your mummy? And I thought, she was up seeing her, and I thought, oh no, she's going to tell me something I should notice is really bad. And I said, what's up, Patricia? She went, oh, nothing. She said, your mummy is as cute as a fox. Because when I was sitting in the day room with her, she was able to tell me everything about every single person in there. But she was also able to tell me that there's a lady over there, we'll call her Annie. Annie used to work for your father, you know. And Annie's husband was the guy who grafted your father's orchards, and he grafted most of the forest orchards around this area. And it was stuff like that she never knew, and my mother's given her information about her own family and how it related to the people in the nursing home. So she's doing really, really well, you know. So obviously we are delighted about that. That's brilliant, you know. So from that point of view, everything's going really, really well. And my daughter was home there from England with her boyfriend. This has never happened before. And he played his cards very well. Oh, he was brilliant. He was really good. And I'll tell you what, he's a wonderful guy, a really wonderful guy. You know when you meet somebody, you just know you're not dealing with anybody who's going to bullshit you. Well, that's who he was. That's who that guy was. He was a really nice guy. They stayed with us for 4 days, and then went back to England again, and they had a wonderful time. And in those 4 days, he probably saw he probably saw more of Northern Ireland than most people who live here have seen. Because my daughter took my wife's car and drove him all over the place. But it wasn't the case where they just went, there's the Carrick-a-Reid Rope Bridge, there's the Giant's Causeway, there's Portrush, there's the American Folk Park, there's the Trian and Armagh, there's this, whatever it is. They went to one place, say up in Omagh, which is about 65, 70 miles away. They went to the American Folk Park there, which is a fantastic, it tells a story of the Irish going to America. And you start off in Ireland on the site, and it shows all the Irish cottages and the way things were. Then you go into a coffin ship. They were called coffin ships because so many people died on the way to America. And then when you leave the coffin ship, you're in America, and all the houses are different, and there's wooden fences, which you don't see in Ireland much. We do mostly stone fences here in the rural parts of Ireland, and hedges. And they've got the houses up on stilts, and they're grinding corn, and everything's transformed from one world to another, and the people are dressed differently, and it's a live museum where you've got people, actors in it, doing their stuff, and it's absolutely brilliant. But on the way there, my daughter would have stopped off at other things on the way to let him see those things, Barry, to let Barry see those things. So he had a wonderful time. He'd never been in Ireland before, so he said he was looking forward to coming back again, and I hope he does come back, because I like him very much. He's a lovely guy. So that was the big thing this last few weeks, And then we had an electrical fault in the house, and I got my friend Tommy out to look at that, and he found a short really quickly. But we went back to the panel. He just said, "There's another short somewhere." And I went, "What?" He said, "There's another short." And I said, "This is really rare." He said, I've been an electrician for 48 years, and I've only seen this once before. He said to me, "Do you ever have a problem with nuisance tripping? When your RCB trip goes every time something goes wrong, it trips, would knock the electric off." And I said, "All the time. For the last 25, 26 years since this house was wired, I just thought it was a very sensitive trip. So I got it changed, but it helped a wee bit, but it didn't make a big difference." He said, "You have another fault." So the next day he came back, and we took, in the living part of the house, so we still had electricity out in the sheds and the kitchen, so we weren't starving and freezing and stuff, So he went out to the, we took all the plugs off in the main part of the house, and he tested every line. He put a doorbell up at the fuse box, and when he tested the line, the doorbell rang. So we had to keep going back up and down to test things with meters, And he found another short in the bedroom. This is the bedrooms that we have just renovated 2 years ago, So there's about a 6-foot length of cable that had a short in it. So we had to replace that. So we cut 3 portholes through the plasterboard and kingspan, the foam stuff, and then we pushed a wire between those, and we finally grabbed a new cable and pulled it back through. So there's only 3 little rings about 4 inches in diameter on the wall that need filled in and repainted, so there's no damage as such. But it was just such a relief. But he told me that happened when the house was being renovated. He said the electricians have done their thing, and the boys that came after them at the time of the renovation have done something where a nail has just touched a wire or just very close to a wire, and then when the cables expand and contract in the summer and winter, it makes that wee connection, And then he said, that's why it's called a nuisance trip, because you just can't find it, where it is, and then sometimes it'll be grand and sometimes not. So we've got it sorted out now, everything's grand, and the trip hasn't gone off at all this last 3 days, which is unusual. It's so bad here that I have to get Fergus across the road to keep an eye on my house when I'm away on holiday. I have a light on, and he watches every so often for the light, and if the light's off, he comes over and resets the trip again, So that's sorted now, But I'll still give Fergus a key to look after the house, because it's nice to know that there's somebody there if something goes wrong or something, And I tell him, "There you go, Fergus. The only thing that's going to happen is that there'll be my cousin's children will come round to feed the cats, but there are going to be no delivery vans taking stuff away from the house, in case somebody arrives up to clean it out and says, 'Oh, we're just moving house here,' That's happened many times before. People have pulled up in vans and cleaned the house out and told other people, 'Oh, we're moving house, that's why they're not here, they're away living in Limavady or something,' So we'll just do the bacon soda sift here. Make sure we got it all. So the electric just sorted out. My mother's grand. Everything's really good, you know. So I'm actually enjoyed this wee video very much, actually, just to get doing it. These are for dinner tonight, obviously, and my friend Ricky, his wife, has run away and left them all alone. And she's away to Portrush with her dogs and her 4 friends who bring their dogs, and they hire a house out, and a dog-friendly house, and they have a weekend together. So Ricky was all on his own, and I felt very sad. So I said, "Would you like to come for your dinner tonight?" And he went, "Yes, please." So Ricky's coming for dinner. So we'll be getting these boys here, the Sarpo Mira, and a rib roast, a top rib roast or something it's called. Never had it before. It looked lovely when we bought it, and it looks really nice now, you know, it's cooked. So that's dinner tonight, and cauliflower cheese and something else, broccoli and carrots and peas or something. I can't remember what the other parts are, but he'll not go home starving anyway. So that's it, folks. That's another 2 videos up again, and I'll do a few more later now. I've got myself sorted out, you know. The inside of this greenhouse is a disaster, absolute disaster. I'll do another video on that later, but it really is a disaster. Well, let you see what these look like. It really is horrible. So I'll do a video on that later when we come to clean it out, you know, and get rid of that stuff. I should have really had it done when the boys were drawing the stuff away in the big diggers and stuff, but once again, apathy, you know, I just couldn't be bothered, you know. But now that I've got the place kind of ship shape again, or they have, I'm enthusiastic about getting back to the garden. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting in about half a dozen beds for carrots and stuff we like, and onions, and carrots, onions, leeks. The old and potatoes, we'll do the potatoes in the pot still, but the old faithfuls basically, we'll put those in, and we'll do fruit trees. So I'm going to be ordering up fruit trees. There's a place over in Devon, Dr. Stephen Hayes, who does orchards, has recommended a few places. One's in Devon, who do bare root trees and they're very good quality, so I'll get some of those and put those in. So that's where we are, folks, alright? So, what was I going to say to you there? Oh, I better just say bye-bye to you, as if half decently, as if I'm interested, you know. Just pull that back in case it's scaring the life out of you. We'll pull that back to there. Oh, there's me. Right, so that's where we are, folks. It's quite mild here today. It's about 14, 15 degrees in October. So that's about, we've normally been 12, 13. So we're a bit warmer than normal. It's very close, very, very humid, you know. But that's what you get living on a wee island on the side of a big, massive ocean, you know. So I'll do a video on the greenhouse later, and on the fruit trees and stuff when they come. But any more potato reveals I'll do, I'll get back onto the wee stories again. Okay? All the best now. Thanks very much for watching. Bye-bye. Where's my button?